Black women, don't you dare. This is a direct...
Congratulations, you just became an agent of white supremacy. The very thing you despise is the very thing you're perpetuating. See, I scrolled through some of your videos, and as you doubled and tripled down on many of them, I came to realize that you're just very ignorant on the subject altogether. And I really do hope you actually take the time to listen to this. When it comes to those voting polls, let me explain how it works. Let's say you got 1 million people in a group. Out of that 1 million people, let's say they pulled 100 people from mostly red states aside and asked them who they voted for. And 56 out of that 100 people said that they voted for Trump. Then the media gets a hold of those numbers and say, wow, 56 out of 100 people that were asked that question voted for Trump. And then they go around pushing that 56% of people voted for Trump. They don't make it clear that it was 56% of the people that were polled. And then they don't even tell you exactly how many people were polled. Now, please tell me how 56 out of 100 people who were asked a question is indicative of the entire 1 million people in that group. So, if you would like to learn how many people were actually polled in those exit polls, maybe go do some research and find out. And then Google how many of us actually live in the United States. And then find out how many of us are actually eligible to vote. Because undocumented migrants cannot vote. DACA recipients cannot vote. Green card holders cannot vote. Visa holders cannot vote. Asylum seekers cannot vote. And who's going to be most affected? All of those people I just named. You made the statement that Hispanics are racist to the black community. First of all, those brown Hispanics, those brown Latinos are actually indigenous people to these lands. They are Native American. We are Native American, who have been reclassified to make it look like our people are almost non-existent. We are, in fact, damn near the majority of this entire continent. So how is it that indigenous people, brown people, people of color like you, how can we be racist to black people? How do we oppress you systemically? What system did we create that oppressed black people? Oh, wait, that's right. We didn't, and we don't. So no marginalized community of color can be racist, because that same system that oppresses you oppresses my people, and always has. Now, you also can't go around preaching about not generalizing the black community when you are generalizing other communities yourself. And just like the quote-unquote Latino community, the black community has Trump supporters too. And just like the black community, who is not a monolith, and how not all people believe the same, think the same, or hold the same political ideologies, neither does the Latino community. Matter of fact, our community has white people, black people, Asian people, Native people, and hundreds of ethnic groups. But the people being targeted are the brown people, the indigenous people to here. And just like how black people's history has been whitewashed and damn near erased, so is the history of indigenous people here. I want you to think back and ask yourself, how much Native American history did you actually learn? How much Mexican history did you actually learn? And then ask yourself why you haven't learned it. But before you try to speak on historical events that you obviously don't know anything about, understand this: black and brown unity and solidarity have always been a thing. We have been fighting for each other for 400 plus years. And the times we have turned on each other is because of agents in our own communities making us fight each other by perpetuating white supremacy. Like you. You want to play Oppression Olympics by claiming black people are treated the worst. I'm not sure why you want to play these Olympics and why you want the trophy. I don't know anybody who wants to be the most oppressed. This tells me you're still in a very much colonized mindset and not a revolutionary one. See, every time they were done with us, they then projected all their hate for us onto the black community. When they arrived in these lands in 1492, they started enslaving us right off the bat. They started taking us back to Europe before they even brought Africans over here. They were already genociding us. When they were losing too many of us, they went to Africa and picked your ancestors up and brought them to here. Every time they displace us, every time they remove us from our lands, it aids in our genocide. They need our resources, and they can't have indigenous people standing in their way. Mass deportations are aiding in indigenous people's genocide. And when they're done with us, they won't have a need for you. So who you think is next?